Hello and welcome to World Watch on OWELEKETV. I am Antonia Nwokolo. UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has promised to pay comprehensive compensation to people affected by the infected blood scandal. The Prime Minister said the government would pay whatever it costs following a damning report on the scandal which saw 30,000 people infected. A public inquiry found authorities had exposed victims to unacceptable risk and covered up the NHS's biggest treatment disaster. The government will set out compensation details on Tuesday. Ministers have reportedly earmarked around £10 billion for a compensation package. The infected blood inquiry accused doctors, government and the NHS of letting patients catch HIV and hepatitis while they were receiving NHS care between the 1970s and the 1990s. About 3,000 have died since and more deaths will follow. Meanwhile, an Australian military transport plane has departed from New Caledonia carrying travellers stranded after unrest shuts down the island's international airport. It is the first of two Australian aircraft arriving to rescue 300 citizens who have registered for assistance in the French Pacific territory. A New Zealand Air Force plane has also arrived, according to Flight Radar 24, and is among a series of proposed flights which will bring about 50 people home. The unrest began last week after lawmakers in Paris voted through changes that will allow more French residents to vote in local elections, a move indigenous leaders say will dilute the political influence of native people. 4 civilians, including at least 3 indigenous Kanak residents, have been killed in riots, along with 2 police officers. Dozens more have been injured and more than 200 people arrested so far. Both Australia and New Zealand said they would prioritize flying outdoors with the most pressing need, with passenger lists being organized by consular staff. France's High Commission in New Caledonia said on Tuesday the airport remained closed for commercial flights and it will deploy the military to protect public buildings. Australian Foreign Minister Penny Wong said tourists from other countries would also be assisted. In other news, France and Belgium released statements supporting the world's top war crimes court's request for arrest warrants for leaders of Israel and Hamas. The International Criminal Court's chief prosecutor Karim Khan accused Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, Israel's defense minister and 3 Hamas leaders of war crimes and crimes against humanity in the Gaza Strip and Israel. While Netanyahu and Gallant do not face imminent arrest, the announcement on Monday was a symbolic blow that deepened Israel's isolation over the war in Gaza. Israeli forces raided a militant stronghold Tuesday in the occupied West Bank, killing at least 7 and wounding several. According to the Palestinian Health Ministry, the raid into Jenin is part of months of surging violence in the Palestinian territory. President Joe Biden on Monday urged Republican leaders in the House and Senate to support a revived bipartisan bill on border security, even as House Speaker Mike Johnson declared the bill would be dead on arrival. Democrats are again trying to pass the Border Act, which they say would reform U.S. asylum laws, hire thousands of border agents, and help curtail drug smuggling. Record numbers of migrants have been caught crossing the U.S.-Mexico border since Biden took office in 2021, and border security has become one of the leading presidential campaign issues ahead of the November 5th election that will pit Biden against former President Donald Trump. And that's all we have for you on World Watch. I am Antonia Nwokolo.